Stand Up by Cynthia Erivo. Love that classic. That's so beautiful. Very beautiful piece. Welcome back from that music break. It's still your morning bus show on your favorite radio station, Unicorn 103.5 FM. Time check is 9 minutes past the hour at 8. My name is Sharon Antegata, and I'm here with Obi Thompson. So we had a little network issue with the dentist that was supposed to be on the line with us today. And because of that, we definitely have to still move on with the show. So we're going to deal on the dangers of HIV/AIDS instead, in combination with the World Native HIV Awareness Day. Human immunodeficiency virus (HIV) human immunodeficiency virus (HIV) attacks the body's immune system, and when not treated, it can progress to acquired immunodeficiency syndrome (AIDS), a life-threatening stage. The key dangers to watch out for is that it weakens the immune system. HIV destroys CD4 cells, making the body unable to fight infections and diseases. It causes opportunistic infections. Individuals become vulnerable to infections like tuberculosis, pneumonia, and fungal diseases that a healthy body would normally resist. Progression to AIDS. Without treatment, HIV can advance to AIDS, where the immune system is severely damaged. It also increases the risk of certain cancers, such as Kaposi sarcoma and cervical cancer and lymphoma. Chronic illness and poor quality of life. It can also lead to persistent fatigue, weight loss, and recurring illnesses, which can affect daily living. One of the dangers is that it can also increase the transmission to other people. HIV can be passed through unprotected sex, sharing needles, blood transfusion with infected blood, and from mother to child during pregnancy, delivery, or breastfeeding.
To social and emotional impacts. It can also lead to stigma, discrimination, mental health challenges, and can affect the living. Mental health challenges can affect those living with HIV. There is no complete cure yet, but antiretroviral therapy helps people live long, healthy lives and reduces transmission. So basically, this is us highlighting the dangers of HIV and the impact it will bring on healthy living. There are people that live with HIV, they are undergoing constant treatment, but some of them get stigmatized, some again get discriminated, some get stigmatized by people that are ignorant to the fact that HIV could be treated if it doesn't advance to AIDS. Also, we're also highlighting the dangers that HIV can be transmitted through unprotected sex, sharing of needles, blood transfusion with infected blood from mother to child. So, in anything we are doing in the medical space, anything we are doing, we are usually very, very cautious of the equipment we use. We make sure that they're sterilized, and we make sure that one person uses one needle for one person alone. One needle is for one person alone, to avoid any contamination or infection of someone else that is clearly normal. Prevention of HIV/AIDS includes practicing safe sex, use condoms correctly and consistently during every sexual activity. Thompson would know better in that one because that is his own side.
So it got to the point where you talk about this. The other day you were like, no, 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 don't talk about this. Don't talk about. So today you've pronounced it. So how did you feel in your mouth?
How
Now
did I
that you
feel it?
pronounce all of this
I
in
did
your mouth.
not. I
No,
did
how-
not
did you
have
feel
anything
anything?
against pronouncing
Did you
it.
feel anything?
Nothing. Why
Nothing,
would I
right?
feel
So,
anything?
but you should be
They're
happy.
just words.
No, but you should be happy.
Happy. Why?
What's thinking in your
What
head?
Thompson, see,
Don't worry,
please,
it's weekend already, so somebody just needs to be very happy. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Oh,
So
please.
no, don't worry. Go ahead.
The second one is to limit the number of sexual partners. Reducing multiple partners lowers the risk of exposure. Those
Okay.
people that like going up and down, collecting things that they did not plan to collect. Please reduce the amount of partners that you have to
So
one.
what if they are collecting money? What if they are collecting house rent? What if they are collecting school fees? What if they are collecting sorting money? What if they are collecting some funds? What if they are collecting clothes?
Something,
Especially
please,
for those who are doing business.
please.
What if they are collecting interest and all of that? So
Please, it
I
means
don't
the
know.
number of sexual partners. Please, that's the point. The third
Okay.
one is to know your status. Regular HIV testing helps early detection and prevents unknowingly spreading the virus. HIV/AIDS is to an extent reduce the price of HIV/AIDS tests. It's not extravagant. It's not expensive. So you check your status so that you check yourself
Yeah,
regularly.
usually,
Screen
I
yourself
think we
regularly.
go for free HIV testing. There are lots
Mm-hmm.
of times we, undergo free HIV testing, and then we ensure that people get free testing.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this in schools, we've done this in our streets, we've done this generally in every space of lives. In markets, all of these places, we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing all of these free HIV testings and all of that. But some facilities charge so much to actually
It's
conduct
because the
testing
test
and all
kits
of
and
that.
they're expensive. The test kits are very
Yeah, so
expensive.
this is why whenever we have this opportunity, we see a whole lot of influx of persons, coming in to access
Mm.
and to know their status, which is very, very
Very,
important
very, very important.
because that's one basic thing that each and every one of us need to know before we proceed in anything that we are doing.
Okay, the next prevention is to avoid sharing sharp objects. Do not share needles, razors, or any objects that can cut the skin. Don't share toothbrushes because there's some people that actually brush their teeth to the point where they bleed. So we are reducing as much contact with another person's bodily fluids as much as possible. So, and as much as possible, don't share sharp objects or things that could cut the skin. Don't reduce the contact you have with an infected person's blood fluids, bodily fluids, sorry, like saliva, catarrh, blood. The fifth one is to ensure safe blood transfusion. Only receive blood that has been properly screened for HIV. Normally, before blood transfusion, they cross match and they screen. The cross match to show that the genotypes and the blood group, sorry, is compatible, and they also screen for infections such as HIV, hepatitis B. So make sure that the blood you are receiving is properly screened for HIV. Use sterile medical equipment. This is for mostly the medical side. If you don't use sterile equipment, you are at risk of contaminating or infecting someone else. So use sterile medical equipment as much as possible. Ensure needles and surgical instruments are properly sterilized. Pregnant women should get tested, and if positive, they should start treatment to protect the baby because HIV can be transferred from mother to child. Adhere to treatment if positive. People living with HIV who take antiretroviral therapy (ART) properly properly can reduce the virus to undetectable levels and prevent transmission. Prevention starts with awareness, safe choices, and regular testing. Protect yourself and protect other people. To those people that stigmatize people living with HIV/AIDS, they're under treatment, and the treatment is something that has been proven to be successful. So, as much as possible, do not stigmatize people that are living with HIV/AIDS. Don't
Yeah.
stigmatize them that live with HIV/AIDS. Be careful. Be careful not to come in contact with their bodily fluids, but that doesn't mean that
That's a big crime
you.
already in our society. Yeah, if you stigmatize someone living with
Mm,
HIV and AIDS, you're liable to an imprisonment and also a fine. Yeah, if anybody does that, okay. And this is why don't forget some last week we talked about confidentiality when
mm,
we said Doctor's Day, where we say doctor-patient relationship. So they
mm-hmm,
must have confidentiality. Patients must trust doctors. So at any time somebody sits in front of you, both counselors, and somebody tells you, this is what I feel, this is what I'm passing through. So you literally do not need to, start making it public and all of that, because this it goes beyond just somebody trusting you with such informations and all of that. So I think basically there are a lot of misconceptions about HIV and AIDS that people talk about. For instance, we have HIV is a death sentence. People think that the moment you have your HIV positive, so
mm.
automatically it's a death
It's death
sentence, so you're going
sentence,
to
yeah.
die. Oh, please, that it is not true,
Mm-hmm,
because we have many other avenues that have been created by our wonderful scientists, doctors, and nurses all over the world that
mm-hmm,
have come together to say, look, this can be managed. You can actually return back to full life. There are lots of persons walking so healthy in our streets, but they are HIV positive. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a lot of care being given to them. They also deserve care. There's another misconceptions that, oh, so long as you're positive, so automatically you do not need to mingle with people, you do not need to interact with people. No, you can't contract HIV through hugging, through kissing, or playing footballs together, attending lectures together, sitting together, and all of that. No, you just talked about sharps. Sometimes a lot of persons go through to make their hair, cut their hair, have their hair cut, and all of that.
Yes.
So it is not only until you have unprotected sexual relationship with those who actually have this virus. Now it goes beyond that. Don't forget, we talked about sharps.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we go to use these things. Oh, you just see somebody just run and come. Oh, please, oh, let me use this thing is paining me, my nails is doing this, I have to cut this, my hair is doing this. You just pick up that sharp immediately into your skin, not knowing if this person who does this, or the
And it's
person
not
who
going
have
to wait, it's going
recently,
to start acting on cells
immediately, and
immediately.
all of that.
Immediately
So I
touches
think
your
it's quite
body
important
fluids.
for you and I to ensure that we sterilize our equipment before we even use it. So that's the most important thing here. And also, to add to that, there's another misconception that people have that has to do with there is a cure for HIV. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
please, there is no cure
There are
for
just
HIV.
treatments. There's no
Okay,
cure
so
for HIV.
why there is no cure? Antiretroviral
Retroviral
therapy,
therapy.
ART,
Yes.
are always there to subdue and suppress
Mm-hmm.
this particular virus
Virus.
to a very bearable minimum until it gets to, there's what we call 95, 95, 95. So every 95% must know their HIV
HIV.
status. And out of these 95% who know their HIV status must, as a matter of fact, ensure that they remain consistently on that part. And then the rest 95 is to ensure that you do not spread and all of that. So I think this is just a wonderful one for our listeners out there
Mm-hmm.
talking about this day. And don't forget, this day also that has to do with Eid Fatel. We've talked about this, Eid Mubarak, for those who are actually celebrating it and all of that. So wish our dear Muslim brothers a very wonderful day, and not to seize this day to do kind of involve themselves in activities that will rather spread these viruses and all over.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. So we're going to go back to the music break. When we come back, we'll take you through the top stories in our university space and nationwide. This is All Night by Beyonce. Enjoy and do not touch that dial. All Night by Beyonce. Welcome back from that music break. You're still on the morning bus show on your favorite radio station, Unico 103.5 FM. My name is Sharon Antegaita, and I'm here with Obi Thompson. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can go and check out, see our beautiful faces and see the fact that Thompson is dressing like a Muslim brother. Yeah.
Very amazing day that I need to, after here I'm going to begin
Yeah,
eating
going.
soya.
Okay, okay. So yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, you
Wow.
start. It doesn't have a time frame.
It has a time.
No, no,
Oh.
no, no. Those who go there in the evening are suspicious people.
So
Trust me. 95% of them doesn't go
suya is
there
no
with their.
suya is always known to
No,
be
no, no, no,
sweeter
no.
in the
They
night.
doesn't go there with their real spouse. They go there with
Please, I beg
okay.
go.
So you see, I should leave it at that.
So it's 6 minutes past the hour of 8, and we're going to go straight to the top stories.
Okay.
The first top story is from the Office of the Director of Information, Student Union Government, University of Calabar. Calabar. GSS examination still holds as Unical announces public holiday. The Office of the Director of Information, Student Union Government (SUG), University of Calabar, wishes to inform all students writing GSS examinations today that the examinations will still hold as scheduled, despite the public holiday recently announced. Students are therefore expected to report to their examination venues as scheduled, as the public holiday does not affect the ongoing GSS examinations. However, students should kindly note that all other examinations apart from GSS examinations have been shifted due to the public holiday. New dates for the affected examinations will be communicated by university management in due course. All students writing today are strongly advised to come along with their University of Calabar ID card, ID, for proper verification and ensure they conduct themselves in a disciplined and orderly manner. Throughout the examination period, all concerned students should treat this information as urgent and comply accordingly. Signed by Comrade Obudum Gift Alex, the Director of Information, Student Union Government, University of Calabar. You've heard it here. You are not doing public holiday if you're writing GSS. Go and write your examination.
Yes.
It
So
still continues. Make
yeah,
sure you
but
carry
then
your ID
I
card.
think I have a very big reservation for this. Whereas we will
Why?
not have to override the management decision, but I
Mm.
think the management, on the other hand, should also understand that this has to do with students. Especially we have a lot of our students who are also
Muslims, yeah.
celebrating this period. So what will
Mm.
happen to those students? Would they give them exception and then later organize exams for them? Because knowing those people, the way and manner they regard their religion,
Mhm.
okay, and also especially day like this,
But looking
you
on
don't
the
expect
bright
them to leave.
side, looking at the on this other side, it GSS examination is supposed to take approximately, let's say, an hour, depending on the examination itself is supposed to take approximately an hour.
Yeah,
But like
but
with the whole
there's
registration
nothing
and
wrong
everything,
if this happens on Monday and Tuesday. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think it's quite important for the management to always at every time. Yeah,
consider the
we're talking
students.
about
Yeah.
integrity here.
Mm.
When there are public holidays, if you walk around the school, you could see that over 95% of offices are shut down. Okay, just the security and just few persons who are doing essential works are actually being are actually on. So I think there will be necessity for them to always and at all times, put this into consideration when it is public holidays. I remember back then when we're having classes on public holiday, and at some point in time, the man made it very
Classes.
plain
I
to
had a
us that yeah,
test
so
on public holiday before.
because of one circumstances or the other, that is why we're doing this. That was understandable. He pleaded with
Mm.
us for that to happen. So when it is public holiday, school management should also understand that every student need to also match on that same lane because a lot of
Yes.
staff will not be available. So for this reason, it's just like you said, it's just an hour to 2 hour exams. There's nothing wrong if that is scheduled for another day. But for the sake of public holiday, students should stay home with their families. So I keep asking a question: what will happen to those students who are also part of this religious faith? Do you understand? And then would this same thing also happen during Easter? And then you ask students to come during Easter, to come and do all of this. So
Hmm.
it doesn't really match up entirely. We have expected that this actually change Okay, in this new administration where it's
Mm.
expected that everything should be done the way it should
But
have
well,
to.
the
I
memo is
understand that a
there,
lot of
and
times there are public holidays where they need to meet up with school calendars and all,
yeah,
but while they are making a central timetable for school calendars and all of that, these holidays were already captured, understand, and it should be maintained, and follow strictly. This is what integrity also has to do. Do you understand? It's not really about financial misconduct or mismanagement alone aspect that we should be talking about integrity. Because things like this are also things that also helps in testing, our integrity as
mm,
well. So as a university community, I think the management could also try as much as they can to also, not subject our students to this kind of punishment, because I call this punishment to an extent,
yes, most
even if it
definitely.
is something required enough for our dear students to also obey. So since this is what the management have also been able to come up with, I think those are students who think, oh, it is public holiday, so they are going to stay home. Please, you have to return back and write your exams as scheduled in your printout.
Moving on to the top stories in in the state's government space. Cross River State Governor Otu orders political appointees eyeing to the 2027 elections to resign by March the 26th. The governor of the Cross River State, Basi Edet Otu, has directed all members of the state executive council and political appointees intending to contest in the 2027 general elections to resign from their positions on or before March 26, 2026. The directive issued during the State Executive Council meeting on Wednesday was aimed at ensuring focus, discipline, and integrity in governance. As governor of Cross River State, I have directed that any member of the State Executive Council has as well as all political appointees who would intend to contest in the 2027 general elections must resign from office on or before March the 26th, 2026. Otu said. He stressed that public office must not be mixed with personal political ambitions, noting that governance should remain the top priority. Public office is a sacred trust and it must never be conflated with personal political ambition, he said. The governor further stated that the administration would not allow political distractions to hinder service delivery, insisting that the people of the state deserve full attention from their leaders. Our people deserve undivided attention, and this administration will not compromise on that responsibility, he said. At this critical time, our mandate is to serve diligently, deliver on our promises, ensure that governance remains free from distractions of premature political activity. Otu emphasized the need for commitment to duty, urging appointees to remain resolute in serving the people who entrusted them with leadership. We must stay resolute in our duty to the people who have entrusted us with leadership, he said. He clarified that the directive was not intended to punish anyone, but was based on principles aimed at promoting fairness and institutional integrity. This decision is not punitive, it is principled. It aligns with global best practices and is designed to ensure a level playing field for all aspirants while safeguarding the integrity of government institutions, the governor said. Reaffirming his administration's commitment to development, Otu noted that efforts would continue in key areas of economic growth and governance. We remain fully committed to our development agenda, driving economic diversification, strengthening strategic partnerships, and enhancing internally generated revenue. Our focus is steady in building a resilient and prosperous Cross River State, he said. The governor also called for strict adherence to the directive. I expect full compliance with with this directive, he stated. He concluded by urging officials to prioritize the state's progress above personal ambition. Together, let us uphold accountability, discipline, and selfless service. The progress of our dear state must always come before personal ambition. This directive comes as Nigerians President Bola Tinubu gave a similar order on Tuesday, urging that anyone with interest in elective positions in 2027 should resign by March the 31st. This is kind of contradictory in a way because the president said he's going for a second term, right?
Yeah.
And he made the directive that anybody that wishes to be elected again
Yeah.
should resign on March the
Okay, so
31st.
I think something happened far back. We go through the cable newspaper of February 28, 2022. You could see that there was also a very big during a electoral act. Okay,
Mm,
so we have Amechi and Ngigi Silva. We say that must actually resign before June if they want to actually contest for
for election, yeah.
presidency. Now, don't forget that why many Nigerians have a side, of relief when President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law, that we have a lot of political appointees interested in contesting. So this is not a strange thing. So in as much as you're an appointee and you want to seek for electoral, any electoral, election. So if you must have to contest in any election as an appointee, you must have to first have to resign.
Mm,
Don't forget this has gone all over. Both ministers, the president have already given this order to his appointees. Whoever, be it the minister, whoever it is, chief executive officer, whatever position you're handling, so you must have to first resign if you must have to contest in any election. So this is what the state governor is also doing. But this shouldn't be seen as something that is so magical or the first of its kind. This has happened before, of course. And then we also have the likes of Amechi, Malami, Akpabio, and others. Assume hopefully that may resign. This actually happened back then. Don't forget that Malami also said that to be interested in becoming KB governor, reports emerged days ago claiming that Silva is the favored candidate for the presidential. Now, this was when all of them were seeking for presidential candidates of the All Progressive Congress back then. And so a lot of presidents came out to say, hey, you must have to resign your position, in as much as you want to seek for this particular election.
yes,
So
election.
this also same thing has to go through all levels of government. So if you know you're an appointee and you want to contest for any position, any elections in the state, so you have to resign, even at the federal level.
And
So
it
this is
also
what the president have
clarifies, it
also given
also
that.
makes people like calm when they realize that okay, you're in this position, you're not doing this as a political push for your agenda the next time that you want to serve it. Because some people now would feel like okay, some people are doing, some governors are doing some things because they want to get favor in the next election, and it also helps them to be focused on what they are doing. We hope the directive will be followed through though,
Yeah,
because we have
when
a
we
thing
talk
in
about the
Nigeria
governor
where
being focused, don't
mm,
forget that in Nigeria, all political appointees and government officials intending to contest elective, offices in the 2027 general elections,
mm,
must actually resign on or before 31st of March of this
March.
month, 2026. And so this directive affect both ministers, special advisors, directors generals, and chief executive officers of, federal parastatals and agencies. So ensuring compliance with electoral laws and all level playing field, and all of that. So also the states. So it doesn't have to do with, the president's interest or the governor's interest and whatsoever. So it's about you can't stay where you are to contest an election. So you have to resign, and then before you can be able to contest for an election.
Mm-hmm. The next top story, Ayade storms Obudu. 5 cars set for chapter chairman as Easter surprise. A wave of excitement is building in Obudu as former governor of Cross River State, Ben Ayade, is set to make a special appearance with a generous gesture for party stakeholders. In what he has described as a remarkable show of appreciation, 5 brand new vehicles will be handed over to the 5 chapter chairmen as Easter gifts. The gesture, sources say, is separate from the usual seasonal support often extended during festive periods, such as New Yam celebrations, marriages, and Christmas, making this initiative a unique and standout act of goodwill. The development has already sparked reactions of joy and anticipation among beneficiaries and supporters in the area, as many commend the former governor of his continued generosity and connection with grassroots leadership. Congratulations to the beneficiaries as they receive their special recognition. How is this? This is not sitting right with me. I don't know whether I'm the only one. Why are you giving cars to people that are there, and there are people that need you to like use the money you are using to get cars to help them feed or at least
Uh,
have a source of livelihood,
well,
and people,
that's
and there's
that's
joy.
um that's Nigerian politics for you. Generally in Nigeria,
It's the
we,
fact that
we
they're
have
calling it
this.
generosity. Like, what's
Yeah.
generosity really?
So Yeah, so that's the kind of politics we play in Nigeria. And trust me, there are thousands and millions of Crossivarians who are behind this initiative. They are
Mm.
so proud of it. They are
And
so
they
confident.
will
The
celebrate it,
way
they will
Amana,
make it
yeah,
loud and
yeah, and
everything.
all
Is
of
that
that,
what
they'll
we
be
were
so
supposed to be
happy.
focusing
Yeah, that's
on?
that's exactly what we're supposed to be focusing on, as the case may be, as a country at this point in time. This is why you have the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria sharing rice, to Nigerians, and preparing their minds, for celebration in the name of celebration. Look, I keep saying whether we like it or not, okay, we must, as a matter of fact,
Mm.
look at people generally, because I keep to think, I come to think about it because one, I think religion, culture, politics, I mean, education has not played any key thing
Exactly,
in
especially
most
education.
Nigerians'
We
life.
we we
Because
pride in
I
being
don't know why
educated,
we should come
yet
to the school, to learn, spend millions of nairas, and at the end of the day, we return back. I remember one former commissioner who was handling us back then in school. He will call you a functional illiterate, because this is exactly what we see in the society. Because you can't tell me you finish your primary school, finish your secondary school, come to the university, and most of you are master's degree holders,
mine will call you
PhDs,
an
profs,
mine call you an
but they do
uneducated
things.
illiterate.
Okay, so you see a lot of things that people do. You could see a professor, mutilating examination, election results just to favor a candidate, and all of that, allegedly anyway, and all of these things. So, and you also see people who should be, constructing the country, the society, the way it should perfectly
Because at
be,
the end of the day, all this starts
but
from
the
grassroots. It starts
this
with
is
from
what it stands,
up.
because all of these persons are coming from communities. You
Mm.
go to their respective communities, most of them don't even have potable waters. They don't have good roads. If you go to their
Even
primary
their
and secondary
farmlands and
schools,
livestock, they
well,
barely have it now.
that's even a different story entirely. If you go to their schools, they don't even have healthcare facilities in their respective domain. Okay, so it is as sad as that. Now, I've seen a post. It's already on my statuses, where a particular a watchman, Goja, reportedly getting his own car he just got that very day while he was driving home. He was fixing it. He called the mechanic to come and fix it. And so people were now saying, is this actually a new vehicle or something? So it's as sad as that, because for me particularly, in as much as the former governor is concerned, or Ben Ayade is concerned, I think with due respect to him, these are persons where we shouldn't even be talking about, whether we like it or not, irrespective of the fact that, oh, you've been a governor. I keep saying, how then do we match accountability? How then do we talk about, you know, uh, um, respect for the rule of law? How then do we talk about so many things that has to do with governance, but most importantly is accountability? How well did you spend your 8 years as a governor of Cross River State? What did you do? What effect did you, I get so embarrassed, the last time we were told that, people went to the airport to go and welcome him for coming back home, and I felt like, what is going
The
on?
one
You,
thing I
you could
realize
see the
about
happiness,
Nigerians is
the
that they
excitement that
appreciate the
people
wrong
went,
things.
you know
Like they make loud, they increase the volume on the wrong things. Like they
Now,
appreciate the
this
wrong
this
things.
this you also hear from some quarters where this particular chair, how do they call them, ward chairmen who were actually selected,
Mm.
they have stayed for very long time. They don't have anything, but here we're talking about roads. They don't have good roads. This is somebody who became the governor of the state, coming from the north. What exactly did he do in the northern part of in the
There
state?
are people that
So
are
it becomes
suffering,
so
people are
so
hungry,
troubling
there's no
and
water,
all of
there's
that.
no food, and
But
you're
here
giving
again,
cars
yeah.
to people, to men that are
So
definitely well to do.
no, but they needed the car. If not, they should have said no. There's nothing wrong somebody giving you gifts and you say, I am not up to getting this kind of gift, and you turn it down. It's just like some gender. Somebody gives you an iPhone 16, an iPhone this, and iPhone that. All you just want is you just want to handle an iPhone. You don't care where this is coming from or where this is going to lead you to. You
Okay,
don't care about that.
with
All you
lack
just
of
want is to get it. So that's the same thing that happens. They
mm,
don't want to know, whether the car is in good, function or not. All they just want is, I want a car. So that's the problem, and it's a big problem.
God help us in this country.
Okay.
Okay, so with lack of time, we're going to go back to the music, but when we come back, we'll take the conversation of the day. This is Die on This Hill by Sienna Spyro. We are still live on Facebook and on YouTube. And It's still your favorite radio station, Unicorn 103.5 FM. Do not touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Can you show me tonight? Can you show me tonight? Can you show me tonight? Can you show me tonight?
Die on This Hill by Sienna Spyro. That's a very, very, very lovely piece on that note. Welcome back to the show. This is still the Morning Boss Show on your favorite radio station, Unica 103.5 FM. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Time check is 48 minutes past the hour of 8, and we're going straight to our conversation of the day. My name is Sharon, and I'm still here with Obi Thompson. So, on March the 17th to 18th, 2026, a federal high court in Warri, Delta State, delivered a landmark ruling affirming that Nigerians have a constitutional right to record police officers on duty in public spaces. Justice H.A. Ngajiwa ruled in favor of a human rights lawyer, Maxwell Weifel, in suit number FHC WR CS 87 2025, holding that filming police officers is a legal exercise of freedom of expression under Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution. Key aspects of the ruling: recording rights. Citizens are entitled to document police activities such as stop and search operations in public spaces without fear of harassment or arrest. Device protection. Police officers are prohibited from seizing phones, cameras, or other devices from citizens who are recording them. Identification mandatory. Officers must wear clearly visible name tags and display their force numbers. The ruling declared anonymous policing unconstitutional. Now, the question is, how can the government ensure long term enforcement of citizens' rights to record police officers? So we love to join. This is a very, very interesting conversation. We love for you to join us. Call us on our studio phone lines or send a message on our WhatsApp line 0809 4444 058 0809 4444 058. We love for you to join in on this conversation. You can call us on that number or send a WhatsApp message to that number, or you can drop a comment on our Facebook and YouTube live stream. So I had this particular news yesterday or so, and I was sort of excited. Okay, so we have a caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, my sister, my ladies and gentlemen. Good
Morning,
Okay,
morning.
sir.
good morning, Mr. Casey. Let's quickly get to hear from you.
Yes, let me contribute small. You know, as a well-meaning Nigerian, Nigeria is our country.
Okay.
We need to keep on talking till one day they will hear us, and I believe they must hear.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. What I can say in this regard, your topic this morning is that until we have a constitution change and our amend, we can't get it right in this country. I mean, we have some individual that stronger than institution. So imagine whereby we are having election and you're asking people to resign. What are you? What about you, a president and a governor? Are you not supposed to resign in office?
Okay.
I
Are you
think
there?
we've lost him. Network is glitching. Okay, so you see, he made the point I made.
Okay.
Exactly, made the point I made. The president's supposed to take example on the rule he enacted, but that's not the conversation of the day. Conversation of the day is how can the government ensure long-term enforcement of citizens' rights to record police officers. So on the road, when you want to record a particular officer, when you want to record, like they tell you to keep your phones in your bag. Most times when I travel, my dad would tell me, put your phone in, hide your phone, and make sure your phone is away. Okay, he's calling back. Let's take his call.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, yes, my brother, I have to finish my conversation this morning.
Okay.
You know, as I was saying, a country that is Nigeria that is still practicing democracy. Are you with me?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then we have a government in office. I mean, a governor and the president in office still contesting for election, where they're supposed to resign and step aside and allow the second person, which is the Senate president, and to take over, even the this thing, to take over and run the affairs of government till when if they are told they are not interested to contesting. You understand? Which kind of democracy are we practicing? They should live by example. A leader live by example. You understand? Not to asking other subordinate to leave the office and then go stay neutral. When you leave them, they will use their practice of government. Tell me why they will not win election. So that is my contribution this morning. Until election, I mean, the constitution is changed and then or even amend. That is when we'll get it right in this country. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Okay, he mentioned something about some persons being above the law, above the constitution,
Yeah.
and that's the problem we have in Nigeria. When men feel like they are higher than written laws, constitutions in the government, they feel like, oh, because they have some position or they have some particular status, that means they are above the constitution and they can do whatever they want. So I've been in a space where in most times when I'm on the road or traveling, they will tell you to keep your phones down. If I had a situation on the road, so we reached a particular security checkpoint and I was using my phone. I forgot that we were at a security checkpoint. I didn't even realize we were at a security checkpoint. So this officer came to my windows because I was sitting at the window. He came to my window side and was telling me, what am I doing? Am I recording them? And told
Okay.
me and my brother to come down from the bus because my brother was on a call with someone while I was just using my phone. So he came down, we came down from the bus and they took our phones. Even in bit to seize the phones, Seth.
Okay.
They took our phones and they said I should open my gallery. Where did I keep the video of them? Where did I keep the video that I recorded of them? And I said, so I didn't record anything. I was just using my phone. So I showed him the gallery. He checked everything. I started making very silly comments like, "Oh God, yeah, you be fine, girl," that kind of thing. I started making very silly comments like, "This is supposed to come from a security official, really." He even wanted to confiscate my phone,
Wow.
and I was not even. I was thinking we were at Enugu at that point in time. I think Enugu or yes, I think the border in yeah, Enugu between Enugu and another state, if I can remember well. That was a security checkpoint. So we're bringing out this thing of in abroad, yeah, they allow them record. Police officers have nothing against it.
Yeah.
In fact, when you see record, they behave themselves to a certain extent. They don't snatch your phones because they don't have the right to. We have the right to our freedom of expression. But in Nigeria here, we're usually afraid to bring out our phones because police officials may decide to smash it or may decide to seize the phone or may decide to even arrest the persons that videoed, and we have the regulation that videoing a police officer in Nigeria is illegal. But we're coming out here to say that it is not. It is part of your rights to it's in the constitution.
Yeah.
So they're saying, how can government ensure long-term enforcement of citizens' rights to record police officers?
Yeah, so I think in Nigeria, when we talk about the rights of citizens, I don't know to what percentage, out of 100, I could say it's just a drop of a water in an ocean. That is how the rights of Nigerians at this point in time, what it really looks like.
Exactly.
If not, these are things we shouldn't be. I keep saying that these things are possible. There are things that are very obtainable. There are things that are very, very visible. But with the system itself that we are into, allow that to be sustained. Like, let's take for instance, okay, now you see a police officer. Ideally, a police officer is supposed to be free, working very happy, doing his job and all of that, But here we're not having that happening, so it's not going to be possible. But however, this judge have said, oh, this is it. So let's wait and see the next person who is going to be successfully in filming a police officer on duty, doing anything funny, and then let's see what another judge is going to say in this particular regards. Because even the ones we have in our constitution, freedom of movement, freedom of speech, my guy, if you say something, you see something. So I don't know why people should be so happy about this. So please, for the sake of your life and for the sake of your future, you have to be very careful when you're doing this.
And most especially, their name tag are supposed to be on their
Yeah,
distance,
so
so that we can
and so
identify
if
them.
they really want to get this done, so they should start with our SARS officers. All of them should be on a uniform, and all of them must, as a matter of fact,
So that we'll be able to
have their
identify.
names tagged so we can be able
Yes.
to identify. And all of these tying of ropes, red bandage, and all of those in their offices, in their cars, in their guns, all of this must have to stop because it's not part of the constitution. It's not part of policing that we all know and all of that. So if Nigerian governments want this to stand, so they must have to start from themselves.
Most definitely. Okay, it has been a lovely time on the show today, and this is us rounding up the show because lack of time. We're just going to take the quote of the day. So the quote of the day is: your pace doesn't matter. Forward is forward. Keep moving forward. Keep being consistent in what you do. As long as you march towards the goal that you wish to achieve, keep moving forward. Keep being consistent. From me to you, I'm saying good morning. I'm saying enjoy your weekend. Make sure
And
you
do
make
have
the
a
most out of your
fantastic,
weekend. Do have
weekend.
a fantastic day. Enjoy yourselves and be happy as
At all
much
times, yeah.
as possible. Be happy as much as possible. We will miss you.
Of course.
We love to be
Until
in
we
this
do this
space.
again on Monday.
Yes, exactly. Good morning.
And bye for now.